That's fine. That's fine. Love that new car smell.
Daytona 500 pole qualifying is sponsored by the new 2013 Ford F-150 with EcoBoost, by Samsung Galaxy Note 2. The next big thing is here, and by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Pole qualifying here for the Great American Race next Sunday. David Rudiman wrapping up, and Greg Biffle due up in just a moment. But currently on the pole and joining us here in the Hollywood Hotel, Danica Patrick in your GoDaddy Chevrolet. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
And congrats. So we were just watching as Ricky Stenhouse, you said you don't mind talking about your boyfriend, rooting for him. You said he'll be happy with where he ran.
Now, don't get me wrong, I still want the pole, but no, I think he'll be happy with that time.
How different Speed Weeks this year, at least coming into this after your experience last year, and how much did that benefit you?
Yeah, I mean, I think any experience is good experience. But I feel like it was a different experience last year. We practiced in January and we felt like we were pretty good. And then we came for the race weekend and we just weren't. And this year we were pretty good in practice in January. So it made me worry coming to the weekend, thinking is it going to be a whole different story? But it wasn't. And I think that's just been the story of how it's gone so far. It's been pretty predictable and consistent and smooth, really.
You had that top practice speed, and right, and then so that set you with Tony Stewart, who kind of set the tone early today. Stewart Haas in a group here.
Well, I mean, we're 1, 2, 3 right now, and I think that's. I think that says a lot about the team, a lot about Stewart Haas Racing, a lot about how much work was done over the winter, how close they pay attention to details, and how they've adapted to this new car. So I think there's a lot to be proud of there. I was walking down pit lane to come over here, and because we're not really in Hollywood here, I said I saw my friend Chris from GoDaddy, and then Jimmy Gibson was standing there, and I said, you're the two people that I want to do it for. I want to do it for the team because it's very much about your preparation of the car, and I want to do it for you because GoDaddy, because you've been very patient with me to get to this point. So that's who I really want to do it for. And obviously Hendrick has done a good job of giving us some really good engines. So there's a lot of other people involved, and just me for sure, and just the driver. It's this is very much a team pole, or a team front row, or a team top 6 if that happens, or a team qualification for that matter. So I'm not counting my eggs before they hatch.
Yeah, so who are you watching closely? Who do you worry about? And you said you kind of impatient here, and now you got to sit.
Well, I was watching Biffle. I mean, I think that those Roush cars are really good. Obviously, Ricky put up a good lap, quite a few times quicker than yesterday in practice. So I think that there's always something there. I feel like they do a good job of going back until qualifying. But I think I'm definitely watching Austin. I think that he's a concern. You just never know. And then you got Junior coming up just a couple after him. So and Jeff's a couple after him. So I think anytime you've got those top teams, you've got to worry. Basically, I'm worried about every single driver that has left to go.
All right, we have a few more questions. You don't have to worry about Ricky. He's standing by though with our Matt Yoka back.
Thanks, Chris. Currently P5 on the board is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So is that going to hold up as far as be best in the Ford class?
That'd be nice. Our best about Ford Fusion was that's the best it has been all weekend as far as speed. So we're happy about that. The guys did a good job between practice and qualifying, getting the adjustments done. Guess we need a couple more nosses to get up there on the front row, but we would like to have got a pole here this weekend. But I think we got some good race cars this year, and looking forward to the duels.
Thanks, Ricky.
Thank you,
Chris.
And you said before, as we talked about a lot on Valentine's Day, which was Media Day, the fact that you and Ricky are dating. So you don't mind the questions about that?
It feels awkward for you even, right? It's just an awkward
I know.
conversation,
But you guys
not
seem,
normal.
You guys seem really, I feel funny asking, like, on Entertainment Tonight or something
No,
like
we're
that.
not, though.
TMZ, but just the effect, it is unique when you're going to be
Yeah.
out on a racetrack, especially next Sunday in the Great American Race. You're both rookies. Any advantage, disadvantage? Can you
You
separate?
know, I've been asked this already, and somebody asked me if out on the track is he just another number out there, and I said, no, he's never been another number. He's been somebody that's always helped me and someone that's always given me advice and somebody that I have a lot of respect for and have always given room and been very, very fair out there. And he's done the same to me, so he's not just another number. He's somebody that I forgive, obviously, but I mean, I feel like, at any point in time racing against him over the last few years, we've always had a lot of respect. So I don't see that being any different, and,
You have a lot in common.
we have a lot in common. We're not very similar. We're actually quite opposite outside of driving a race car. I asked him that. I said, do you think that we're very similar? And he said, no. And I said, well, other than the fact that we do a job that only 41 other people do on the weekend, so, or at least in the race anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a group of the best drivers, and you happen to be
Kind of a unique job.
romantically involved in the 55th running of the Daytona 500. Daryl Waltrip wanted to comment, has a question for you from.
Oh, good.
Yeah, hey, Danica, you always are so composed. I've seen you lose your temper a few times, but were you nervous today? When you went out to make this run today, were you at all nervous?
I was a little bit nervous. It's all about, just getting the shifts right and being smooth. And more than anything, I think it's about, you're trying to hug the line as much as possible, but you're trying to not steer too much. And so sometimes the car wants to kind of track up and move up the track a little bit, and you got to pull it down, but you also don't want to hit the apron. So it's not like you go out there and lock your arms and it just stays there. It's not that perfect of an arc around the corner. So, you're just trying to be smooth and run a nice line that doesn't scrub any speed. So, and then, the question always is if the car feels like it's kind of bound up and wanting to be freed up, do you let it off the corner and run more distance on the exit, or do you keep it pinched down and run a shorter distance? Back in the IndyCar days, it was all about the shorter distance because we had so much power. But in these cars, we're at terminal velocity, it feels like, for the whole lap for the most part. So there's really, you don't want to scrub too much speed, and they're so much heavier to get going again. So it's a little bit different than what I'm used to.
All right, thanks, Danica. To recap quickly, Greg Biffle's 3 out of 4 Fusion was 12, now 13. Clint Boyer, the 5-hour Energy Camry, and has qualified 8th fastest. He is the second quickest Toyota, and this is another of the highly regarded rookies. Austin Dillon, the grandson of his car owner Richard Childress, who has experience in NASCAR's Truck Series, Nationwide Series, and now he is driving a Childress